Hey, and welcome to the day that I talk marriage. And my name is Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, and I'm the creator of the Hero Husband Project and the owner of Foundations Coaching. And today's topic is one that's kind of hard because it's commonly talked about by, especially by a lot of women, that men are nothing but big little boys, and that they're incompetent and that women have to do everything in order for it to be done right. And if this is happening in your household, it needs to stop. And I'm not going to lie, I was guilty of this for a lot of years. After I got married, before we had kids, people would say, Leslie, when are you going to have a child? And I would just, in my sassy little way, go, oh, you mean another one? With the implication that my husband was a child, which was not now, then, or ever true. My husband his can be childlike sometimes, which is actually good for me because it gets me out of my seriousness. But he has never been a child. And most men are not. And it is a really um, insulting thing to talk about to them. Now, I'm going to tell you why. If it's going on in your household, I'm going to tell you why. Now, the first thing is we've got this societal thing that says, oh, men are incapable, incompetent, they can't do anything around the house. Pardon me, but I'm calling BS on that. That is a total lie. What usually happens is, guys, you're either not doing it her way or you're not doing it fast enough. And a lot of that, by the way, is miscommunication. You guys haven't actually talked about who's going to do what around the house, who's going to what the things that need to be done before we get to play, right? And most of the time, you guys probably tried to do things in the beginning and were basically told you were doing it wrong. Um, and especially if you have children, a lot of times women will say that men don't know how to do things. My response is, if the diaper is on the correct end of the baby, you did okay, right? But this is one of those things that women are given a lot of power in this respect. And I get it. If you guys get told you're doing it wrong, I'm right with you. I wouldn't do it either. But here's part of the problem, okay? It just perpetuates this unfair assumption or this unfair place that you're not doing it or that you can't do it and that she has to do everything. And I'm going to tell you one of the drawbacks to this parent-child overfunction or underfunctioner thing. Nobody wants to sleep with their kid, right? So if she is viewing you as a child, it's going to create all kinds of problems. And I'm going to tell you, just because she views you this way doesn't mean it's true. But my guess is that you're picking up the part of the pattern that allows it to continue. Because you can't have a parent without a child. You cannot have an overfunctioner without an underfunctioner, right? And I get that it's easier not to do anything than to constantly be criticized. But then all that does is just solidify her view of you that you are incapable. Okay. I'm going to tell you that when you decide that this pattern is going to stop, don't be surprised if she keeps pushing it, right? If she keeps having this viewpoint and her viewpoint is not fair, and you can argue up one side and down the other about how not fair it is. But fair is something that happens in October in Raleigh most of the time, not this year. Okay. Fair doesn't matter. If she has this view of you, that's how she sees you. Now, the way to go about getting this to change is for you to no longer play your half. Now, I get it. She shouldn't have this view. All right, we've already covered that. And when you decide to not play that role anymore, it's going to be unpleasant for a little while, right? And if you're somebody who doesn't like conflict or doesn't like her to be disappointed or doesn't like any of these things, you're going to be stuck being viewed as a child in your marriage. Now, perfectly legitimate choice if you're okay with that. I personally don't think it's a good idea, but okay. Now, the way in which you do this, you know, whether you agree or not, you know what she thinks you're childish about. Okay, whether it's chores around the house, whether it's taking care of the kids, whether it's how you spend your time, you know, you might not agree, right? You might be able to defend or justify why you do what you want. Great. That and $1.50 will get you a cup of coffee at McDonald's. If you want it to change, you're going to have to take action and be prepared for her not to like it, even though it's something she's been complaining about for a while. Doesn't make sense, but it happens, okay? When you become clear that you are not going to be seen or you're not going to, your behavior is not going to be perceived as childish, that's when this system is going to change. And you don't have to be angry about it. You don't have to be aggressive about it. You just need to step up and be willing to call her when she still call her on it when she still tries to push you back into that position. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's going to take a while of you doing things differently for it to register with her. Okay. And you're not, and don't be looking for this, suddenly, she just notices. No, she is going to be calling you on this. And when you can say, when was the last time that happened? Give me a date. And if it's longer than 3 weeks ago, then you've got traction. Okay, that's when you can start calling her on that is not happening. Now, it probably never was, but that's an argument you're never gonna win, right? What you want to do, and I realize it's not fair, but okay, we've already covered that. All right. What you want is to get out of that being seen as a child. You deserve to be treated like the competent adult male that you are. And this is going to take a little bit of time to shift. And this is what I do. If you want some help in knowing, in changing this system, okay, because I got her viewpoint, right? I know exactly what she's doing. I know what she's seeing. And I know how to get that to be changed. Please send me an email, give me a call. I'm also inviting you to join my Facebook group, which is called Good Guys, Great Husbands. Go up there and put it in the search box. This is a men-only group, except for me, of course, where we can talk about these things that have your relationship, that have your marriage out of balance. It's very hard to change a system when you're a part of that system without having somebody on the outside who can support you with that. Okay, that's what I do. So if you're tired of being treated like a child, if you think it's unfair, because by the way it is, then take action. You take this on and you make it be different, because I guarantee you it'll be a little rough at first, but you will get that system to change. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And I do really want to help you guys with this, because like I said, it's for in most cases, it's not true, but women don't want to acknowledge that. I actually got into an argument, a little Facebook back and forth with somebody who was stating that her husband was a child, and I called her on it. Okay. Women don't like this. And I'm going to tell you how to get this done in a way that will be successful. Because I'm going to tell you guys, you can't go at it head to head. It's not going to work. I know that's what your system is. I know that's your thought process. It just won't work. Okay? So hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know your comments below. And until next week, stay loving.